I decided to take part of this campaign, first of all, because any opportunity for me to act is good. And they offer me that opportunity. Commercials is not such an easy genre. You have to be very precise in what you are presenting. You have to believe a little bit in the product that you are doing. As an actor, you have to believe in the character that you are performing. What is behind this product is a company that has been working for many years. It's a family company, actually. The chewing gum is actually, in my mind, part of a culture that I embrace. I have been raised in that culture of chewing gum, you know, for some of my heroes on the screen and some of my heroes in the music world. So it was kind of fun. Also, when I read the publicity in the way that they design, I thought it was comedy time because I am actually interacting with fantasy characters that actually in real life cannot exist. And it was just interesting to do something that you know is not going to be there, but then with the processes of new technologies and CGI will be there. So there is a number of things over there that they were interesting for me. And of course, you know, all the issues related to oral health, and the people must know that a campaign against lingering food is interesting because actually many sicknesses that we have are produced by bacteria produced by actually food that stays in your mouth after you eat. So these actually chewing gums are helping you to produce saliva, and the saliva get rid of all of this thing. I do regularly chew. I do because I think it's healthy. The benefits of chewing and the chewing gum is going to help oral health through that point of view is that I produce saliva, and the saliva gets rid of all the bacteria produced by lingering food in your mouth. So it's a healthy habit, actually, and in a way this product is just providing you with a tool to do so in a very pleasurable way, because they have fantastic flavors and it produces a sensation of freshness in your mouth and in your nose. My favorite flavor is mint. Even psychologically produce, it's not the freshness only in my mouth, or you know how I open my nose and make me breathe better. But even it's here. And when I was working on Broadway and I have to sing every night, I remember just popping one of those 5 minutes before I went to the stage, because it creates the feeling, the sensation that you are very open, and so you can sing properly, you can breathe better. So basically it's me talking with the food and just telling them, you know, that it's over, that I have to move on. Then I pop a couple of chewing gums in my mouth, and they just practically disappear out of my life. It's almost like doing an analogy that you are breaking a relationship. In this commercial, or in any commercial, the most challenging part is that you have to be unbelievably precise. You are not just acting in a dramatic way, you have to present a product. And sometimes it's the framing of camera, how the product is going to be presented, how you have to hold it. It's precision. I don't know. I feel like an actor, a normal actor, really, because even when you are playing with something that is not there, you are trying to do it as he was. So for me, it's not such a big difference. When I am playing a character in which I only use my voice, that is slightly different because I have total freedom to do with my body whatever I want to do, and in fact, I can expand the possibilities that my voice has when I work in a character in which I am, you know, the image. So for me, work in animation taught me so much about possibilities that then, after that, I could employ as a normal actor. but working in front of, I have an animation company that I produce. Besides working with Puss in Boots and Shrek, I have my animation. So I know very well all the processes that are behind. So when I am working with a donut, I know what they can do with that. And so you have to be very believable, because what they can do now with a donut can actually steal the scene from you. Listen, I'm from the south of Spain. I've been my whole entire life following a dream that brought me to Hollywood. But in order to do that, I had to break up with my town, with my style of life, with my friends, with my family, to go to Madrid first. And then I created there for another 12 years another group of friends and professionals that work with me, with whom I really felt very comfortable. But then another, challenge was there in the horizon, and so I broke up with Madrid too, and I went to another place, and then, so yeah, mainly that, friends and my country. And for me that has a very strong meaning. Be healthy. I think that is, and this particular moment in my life even more, because I am now in the 50s, all right? And so I have to be more careful. And if I would have been more careful before, probably I didn't have to be so careful now. So even, I think food education, I think is something that should be implanted even in schools, because not only to live longer, but to live better. The secret to those two things are actually in food. Of the ones that I've been working with, the donut, because it's the one that I have an interaction, and because sincerely he's the best actor of the group, the Wild Bunch. The donut, again, because the donut is so round. His personality is so round. He gets some holes in his personality, but he can fill those holes in the time that he's actually here in Hollywood. Cupcake. Cupcake has to go definitely, probably I would suggest her to go to the Method School in New York for like 25 years before she goes back in front of camera. I don't know about that, but chewing gum, which is another character too, is more, metaphysical character, but it's there. It's so fresh that I have to say no to donut. So I'm sorry. I know I can be on the National Enquirer. Talking with a donut is it's not easy. So what I try is just to make it believable. And the funniest part, well, a couple of times I try just to pop the chewing gums in my mouth in a very fashionable way, and I actually miss it. And it's just one of them hit me here, and the other one falls over there. I just try to do it for a certain distance, like an action hero, like a pom, and it happens. So, but it didn't. So people laughed. It's just difficult to act in something that is so, in a way, surreal, in front of a crew of people that is watching very interestingly to see if they can believe that you are actually talking with a donut. So the funniest part is probably listening to the voice of the donut that was actually performed by our director, Martin, and him trying to improvise with me meanwhile we're doing the commercial. And but it has been the overall kind of easy, because the concept was very clear, and I think we were all very clear in what we wanted to do with it, how to develop it. Anything that I have done with Pedro Almodovar is a favorite to me. So the 7 movies that I have done with him, and then some other characters that were probably not as profound, but that provided me with the love of many people, especially kids, like Zorro, characters like Evita, because allow me to sing, and I love musical comedy. Next for me is something very interesting, very important for me, and you're going to understand why. I'm going to play Picasso. Picasso was born 3 blocks from where I was born in Malaga, so he has been always a big shadow in my life. It's one of my idols. And we're going to make a movie called 33 Days, which tells the story in which, the 33 days in which he painted the Guernica, in the middle of the Spanish Civil War, with a very strong relationship with 2 women at the same time, a man in tribulations, personal and political tribulations. And we will do that in Paris in the month of January, directed by a Spanish fantastic director called Carlos Saura, with Vittorio Storaro doing the photography, and I'm searching for that. And then I'm going to co-produce with Millennium a movie called Automata, which is a movie that talks about singularity. Concept of singularity of robots taking consciousness in a post-apocalyptic world, and we will do that probably in Bulgaria and Sofia. I do yoga regularly. I am a yoga practitioner for the last 10 years of my life, and I do that every morning. Very early at 6 o'clock I am on my mat, and then I run to sweat, but I don't do weights or anything like that. There is a question that has to do with age. I'm over fathers now. They called me to do a movie called Black Gold with Jean-Jacques Hano that we did in Tunisia a year and a half ago, 3 years ago. And my daughter was Freira Pinto, and that was devastating to me. That they called me to play her father was like, what? What happened? Well, what happened is that I am 52. That's what happened. Well, right now, different as it was some time ago. I changed my diet, and I'm eating more greens, and I'm practically no red meat. But after I do yoga in the morning, I take a big mug of white tea. And I let it sink into my body for like 15-20 minutes, and then I take walnuts, I take almonds, and I take an apple or a pear. That's it in the morning. And then slightly here and there I can take some tofu, so now the meat food of the day is just like little things here and there until the dinner, and the dinner is very early. But I don't eat. I probably go better for what I don't eat. I don't eat red meat. I don't drink milk anymore. I don't eggs. Only I use the white side of eggs, and the yellow part anymore. Everything that produces cholesterol, I totally eliminated off my diet. I am very much into green lettuce. Peppers, arugula, you name it. Many of those things that I actually. My wife and I, we have a little vegetable garden in our home, and we produce ourselves. So we have our own tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes that we produce. Everything that we eat related to vegetables is produced by us.